Imagine the most powerful deceiver on earth, a man who can shake nations, confuse minds, and make people question everything they believe, standing at the edge of a city he cannot enter. He tries to approach, but he is stopped, not by armies, not by walls, but by something far greater. Why would the greatest trial in human history be blocked from just 2 cities? What is so special about Makkah and Madinah that even Dajjal cannot step inside? The Quran teaches us that this world is a test. It tells us that deception will exist. It warns us that falsehood can look strong for a time. But it also reminds us that Allah protects what He chooses to protect. There are places on this earth that are not ordinary, places chosen, honored, made sacred by the command of Allah. Makkah is the place where the first house was established for mankind, a place described in the Quran as blessed and a guidance for the worlds. It is where hearts turn 5 times a day. No matter where you live, no matter your language or your skin color, your prayer faces that direction. That is not random. That is divine. Medina is the city that welcomed faith when it was weak. It became a home for believers, a place where the message of Islam was built into a living community. These 2 cities are not just locations on a map. They are symbols of pure worship, pure submission, pure faith. Dajjal represents the opposite. He represents the peak of deception, a man who calls people to himself, a man who will challenge belief. The Quran makes one truth clear again and again. Worship belongs to Allah alone. No partners, no rivals, no equals. Anyone who invites people to give him what belongs only to Allah is standing in open opposition to the very foundation of faith. So think about this. Makkah is built around the Kaaba, the symbol of worshipping Allah alone. Millions circle it, saying that there is no God but Allah. Medina is the city where the message of that oneness was strengthened and protected. How could the greatest enemy of that message walk freely into its heart? The Quran speaks about how Allah is the best of planners. People plan, nations plan. But Allah's plan is above all. Dajjal may travel the earth. He may enter cities. He may shake the confidence of many. But he is still a creation, limited, controlled. He cannot move beyond what Allah allows. That limitation itself is a sign. When you hear that Dajjal cannot enter Makkah and Madinah, it is not just information, it is reassurance. It is a reminder that no matter how dark the trial becomes, there are boundaries. There are lines that falsehood cannot cross. The Quran describes how falsehood may rise for a moment, but truth remains firm, like foam that floats on water and then disappears. While what benefits people stays on the earth, Dajjal may look powerful. He may seem unstoppable, but he is temporary. The sacred places chosen by Allah remind us of permanence, of stability, of divine protection. Picture a world in panic, people confused, faith shaking, and yet, in Makkah, people are still praying, still circling the Kaaba, still calling upon Allah. In Madinah, hearts are still remembering, still connected. Even when chaos spreads, worship continues. That contrast is powerful. It shows that protection is not about walls of stone. It is about purity of purpose. These cities are protected because they stand for something unshakable. They stand for Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. Dajjal's entire message challenges that oneness. So he is blocked. But here is something deeper. Physical protection does not mean automatic safety for every heart. The Quran teaches that true protection begins inside. You could live far from Makkah and Madinah, yet have a heart protected by strong faith. And someone could live close to sacred ground, but still choose disbelief. So the real question becomes personal. If Dajjal cannot enter those cities because of their sacred status, what about your heart? Is it a place where deception can easily enter? Or is it guarded by remembrance of Allah, by prayer, by understanding the Quran? On Life After Death Stories, we talk about these signs, not to create fear, but to create awareness. Because every event before the Day of Judgment points to something bigger. The trumpet will be blown, the graves will open, every soul will stand alone. Dajjal is only one chapter before that final scene. The Quran reminds us that on the day of resurrection, neither wealth nor children will benefit anyone, except the one who comes to Allah with a sound heart. That is the true sanctuary. A heart that recognizes truth. A heart that refuses to bow to false claims. Makkah and Madinah are protected by Allah's command, but your heart is your responsibility. You protect it through belief, through prayer, through staying close to the Quran, through choosing truth even when lies look attractive. So when you hear that Dajjal cannot enter those cities, let it remind you of something bigger. Falsehood has limits, deception has borders, and Allah's protection is real. The world may shake, tests may grow heavy, but the one who created the heavens and the earth is never overpowered. If this reflection made you think, share your thoughts. Do you believe we are preparing our hearts enough for the trials ahead? I would love to read what you think. And if this reminder strengthened your faith even a little, pass it on to someone you care about. Because sometimes, understanding why a place is protected teaches us how to protect ourselves.